Time now for Sid at 6-0. This is where you get 60 seconds to talk about whatever. Start the clock, please. Here's what's on my mind this morning. Stanley Cup playoffs begin in 28 days. And if Mitch Marner goes into the postseason looking like this, then the Maple Leafs actually have a shot of getting out of the first round. The guy is on fire. This goal from Saturday night against Philly was video game stuff. Flyers couldn't get it off of Marner's stick before he fed Matthews here for Matthews' 51st of the season. Marner now has 55 points over his last 30 games. You heard me right. The only Leaf to ever have a stretch like that was Doug Gilmour, going back to 1993. But it's not just Mitch's offense that's grabbing people's attention here. After the game Saturday, Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe also dropped this one on us. He believes Marner should also get consideration for the Selke Trophy, given annually to the NHL's best defensive forward. Now, I'm not sure about that, but big picture, this is all good stuff when it comes to Marner. Last year's playoffs was a disaster for him. Might be different this time around. Jeff Marek joining us from the Jeff Marek Show on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and 32 Thoughts, the podcast. Also did a great job at the GM meetings down in Florida. Jeff, appreciate you. This Marner role here, do you see this progressing into past May 2nd? Because if it does, that's a good thing.
That's the big question, right? Like, that's the only question we have about Mitch Marner right now, Sid. Like, here's the thing. Going into the season, there are some players, there are some teams for that matter, that just want to get through the regular season. Just get it over with, because all of our answers, or in this case, all of Marner's answers, exist in the postseason. It's one thing to do it over the 82-game stretch. It's another thing to do it when everything tightens up, the puck feels heavier, every hit is for keeps. It's another to do it in that environment, and that's the playoffs. Can he do it? Well, great players usually have that breakthrough season. Don't forget, for the longest time, we said the same thing about Pavel Datsyuk. Great regular season player, can never get it done in the playoffs, until he did. I'm firmly of the belief that great players eventually figure it out and find a way to make it happen. I don't think that Mitch Marner is any different than some of the greats that we've already seen face the same problems and then overcome them.
My issue with the Leafs, Jeff, is when you look at what that first round opponent could be. Like, we're looking at either Boston. I know they just beat Boston last week, but historically we know what the Boston playoff rivalry is like. And if the playoffs start today, the Leafs take on the team they're playing tonight in the Tampa Bay Lightning. Look, I've talked to enough people that, I find people are split in Leafs Nation about Tampa. It's like, you know what, they're not impossible. You can beat Tampa. And the other half are, no, that's a two-time defending Stanley Cup champion. Leafs are out in 5. Where are you falling in this?
Yeah. They're tough out.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather, if I'm the Maple Leafs, I'd rather face Florida. I'd rather face Boston. I think, to me, the worst possible opponent for the Toronto Maple Leafs, sorry, Leafs fans, are the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think they're one of the most complete teams. They got great goaltending. They're well coached. Their blue line is elite. They've got a number of different weapons up front. Are they as good as they were last year? Probably not. And that's that maybe tiny little crack in the door. That's that little opening where the Maple Leafs can slide in. But here's the thing: everyone's getting a tough opponent in the first round.
Correct.
Right? Like, there's in the East, the Eastern Conference has been done since what, Sid, November? Like, the only question is who's going where. But the teams that are going to the playoffs, like those 8 teams, we know who they are, and we've known since November. So this isn't sneaking up on anybody. I do think Tampa is still considered a heavyweight and a Stanley Cup contender. But if you're the Maple Leafs, I don't know. I'd almost rather have a really tough test than just a easy breeze-through series, which, by the way, in the Eastern Conference doesn't exist this year.
Correct. Well, they'll get that test. If it's Tampa specifically, they'll get the test. Jeff, appreciate you, man. Great stuff. Thank you. Have a great day.
Do yourself a favor. Go to Elliot Friedman's Instagram to see the hot dog he ate last night. We pulled. Games. Oh my.
Jeff, we pulled the picture coming up at 7:10. We're gonna run it.
Do it.
This is a boomstick if I've ever seen one. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
It's enormous.
There's a lot on this dog. Pass the mustard, Frege. Coming up after the break. Thanks, Jeffy. We're gonna take a break.